Come on, screen, you can do it. Why does my iPad glitch? Okay, there it is. Okay. So we've practiced now the naming. We named binary. We named some ternary. We're going to take it up a notch. Okay? Everything that I have picked so far, to include the compounds that you just named on that quizzes, were elements or cations that came from either group 1 or group 2 or aluminum. And if you look at group 1 and group 2 on your periodic tables, they only have one possible oxidation number, one possible charge. I did that on purpose. Now we're going to look at the ones that are in the transition metals. Now you'll notice when we go to the transition metals, let's go break out some transition metals. Let's see, reference tables. Okay, let's look at iron. Do you see up here in the upper right hand corner it has 2 charges? Okay, keep that in mind. What is the name of this compound? Woo! You rock. It was nice and quick. Iron oxide. Alright, what's the name of this compound? Iron oxide. It's a trick question. Are they the same compound? No, they are not. It's like you can have 2 things that are made of the same materials, iron and oxygen, but one is like diamond and the other one is pencil lead. They're still made of the same stuff, but they're totally different substances. So if you have 2 compounds, iron oxide and iron oxide, if I tell you, go get me some iron oxide, you're not going to know which one to bring me. So what we do is we have to add another thing to this name, and we're going to add it in between these 2 words. This parentheses only shows up if the metal cation has multiple oxidation numbers. So we will use it for things like titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, not zinc, niblulium, technetium. Yeah, I can't say that word. Gold, lead, wherever the lead is, down here, mercury. If there are multiple oxidation numbers, we are going to have to add parentheses between the metal and the cation and the anion's name, the metal and the nonmetal. This parentheses is going to tell us which oxidation number we used to make this formula. In this case, I used the iron plus 2. Because if you think about it, these 2's would cross down, 2 and 2, and would reduce to 1 and 1. So this formula is going to be called iron 2 oxide. Now, the 2 must be written in Roman numerals. Does everybody know their Roman numerals, or at least up to 5 or 6? Okay, I, V, VI. Okay? All you have to do is get up to 6. After that, you can just ask me. Okay? Alright, so this one is going to be iron 2 oxide. What do you think this one's going to be called? Iron 3 oxide. Good job. Okay? I had to figure out what the iron was. Now, I did a reverse crisscross here. I couldn't do a reverse crisscross here. But I did a reverse crisscross here. And I found out that the iron was a plus 3. So this one's going to be iron 3 oxide. Let's try another one. First of all, what would the name of this be? Copper chloride. Does it need a Roman numeral?
No.
You better look at copper. Does copper have more than one choice for its cation? Look at copper. It's right here. It has a 1 or a 2. So now, in this parentheses, the parentheses are in there because there are more than one choice. Which copper was used? Was it copper plus 1 or copper plus 2? How did you know that? There's 2 chlorines. So this was a 2 and this was a -1. So this has to be copper 2 chloride. Can you give me the formula for copper 1 chloride? If I said draw me copper 1 chloride, copper 1 chloride, CuCl. Done. That's copper 1 chloride. Okay? When do you put the Roman numerals in parentheses? When there's more than one choice for oxidation numbers. Do you put the Roman numerals in the formula? No. You put the Roman numerals in the name. Here's another one. Let's see if you can get this one. Let me erase this. You don't need that. PbO2. Okay. Does it need Roman numerals? Yeah, so let's put a parenthesis there. Now tell me what number goes in that Roman numeral. No. Mind blown. Yes. Okay. Well, if I just do a reverse crisscross, hold on, Noah. If I just do a reverse crisscross, you might think it's 2. But oxygen is a -2 charge. If oxygen is a -2 charge, then it has to be the +4. So you have to be careful with that. That's going to be lead 4 oxide. IV. What, Christian? Yeah, like the thing you put in your arm. Okay. How about Ni2S3? What's the name of that? Not nitrogen. Nickel. Yeah, nickel. 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 What? What? It's not 8. Ide. Does it need a Roman numeral? Does nickel have more than one choice? Yes. Which nickel did I use? +3. So it's nickel 3 sulfide. All right, let's throw a polyatomic ion in here. Let's do AlPO4. AlPO4. Does it need a Roman numeral? No. Aluminum phosphate. Okay, for those of you who are still sitting there scratching your heads, does it need a Roman numeral? Why not? Aluminum only has 1 oxidation number. What about that guy? He needs. So we know we need a Roman numeral in there. What's Cu? Copper. What's SO4? Sulfate. It's a polyatomic ion. No, not sulfate oxide. What is SO? All right, stop, because it's a common problem. When you have a compound like this first of all has both ionic and covalent bonds in it, right? It's got the copper, which is the plus charge, or the cation, I should say. I'm not going to tell you which one it is. And you've got the sulfate, which is the polyatomic ion. This is the anion. This is the cation. Okay? The compound has an ionic bond that's right here between the copper and the sulfate. That's where the ionic bond is. The covalent bond is in here between the S's and the O's. All right, that being said, we're naming it like this. Copper, and then the sulfate is on table E. It needs a Roman numeral. Which Roman numeral does it need? What are your choices? You have two choices for copper. That Roman numeral is either going to be a 1 or a 2. Which one is used? 2. Okay? Here's why. The sulfate had a -2 charge from table E. That means the copper had to have a +2 charge. Because this whole thing has a -2 charge, and this whole thing has a +2 charge, it will add up to 0. Okay? That formula, CuSO4, is used all year long. Copper 2 sulfate, copper 2 sulfate, copper 2 sulfate. I will see you tomorrow, my friends. Do be safe tonight. Have fun. Don't eat too much candy. Monday. Quiz is Monday.